and conditioning. It's the king of exercises. It uses more muscles and more motor skills than any other movement. Okay, and it's also the foundation, it's the basic of all athletic movement as well. Most athletic movement comes from this position. Yeah, okay, whether we call that a squat or not, it's the basis of how we're going to move. And in clinical practice as therapists, we use it as an indicator of someone's movement skill, okay, their capacity potentially, okay, and their neurointegrity. And my colleague Uzo will talk about that later this afternoon when we cover the single leg squat. But ultimately, your squat pattern of movement is enabling or disabling. That's really important that we understand that. So, what does it mean? What I want you to do is turn to the person next to you and say, what does squats mean to you? You've got 30 seconds, be noisy, go. Turn to the person next to you. What does squats mean to you?
Great glutes.
Great glutes. Yeah. I think African people sitting around a fire.
Okay.
Natural sitting position. Natural sitting position.
Yeah.
They work quick.
You do
huh?
squats?
I do.
Okay, and that's enough. It's my lecture, not yours. Okay, right, so if you're a therapist, it will mean something different. If you are a patient or you're the client, it will mean something different. If you're an athlete, it will mean something entirely different. Okay, so if we have a look at that as a therapist, I use it as a movement screen, an assessment tool, to look at movement patterns. I'm going to use it for rehabilitation, low load exercises. If you're a client or a patient, you're going to, is this a sit to stand? Okay? Is this a resting posture, an archetypal resting posture? Do you use it for toileting? I was in Europe over the summer and I needed my squat pattern of movement on a number of occasions. Is that oversharing? Okay, I hope not. And then if you're an athlete, what does that mean? Is it an exercise? Is it going to the gym? Is it doing leg day? Are you a power lifter, an Olympic lifter, or a hallowed CrossFitter? So you used to be an expert at squatting. Between 7 and 11 months, you had this nailed, okay? And you were an expert at squatting. So what happened to your movement pattern? Why has your movement pattern changed? You've got to realize that squats are incredibly functional. If, like I said, if you don't squat into that position, then you can't relieve yourself. You can't empty your bowels. Okay, and I learned this over the summer. Has anyone seen the squatty potty? Hands up, you've seen the squatty potty? What a great invention. I have one in my house. If you haven't got one, I'm not selling them, okay, but I do recommend them. Gets you into that nice squat shape to deliver the goods. Archetypal resting postures. Okay, so in Asia, it's okay to squat like this. Okay, it's okay to just sit down and chill out. Okay, and relax. Imagine doing that at the bus stop. You sat down and you're chilling out in that position. Okay? People are going to look at you strange. They're going to think either you're a CrossFitter or you're a weirdo, or both. Okay? But if we have a look at these resting postures, we've got wide starts, we've got narrow starts, we've got feet out, we've got feet in. They're all squatting naturally as they have done since they were a child. Okay? So why has Asia mastered the squat and the West not? Okay, and it's quite simple, it's because of the evil chair, isn't it? Okay, the very thing you're in, the very thing that I'm lecturing to you, like I'm a hypocrite, is the chair is killing you, okay? And it's killing your range of movement, switching off your glutes and all that bad stuff. We sit too long, don't we? Sedentary behaviour. And that is the road to dysfunction, and that's why our squat movement pattern needs to be assessed and monitored. So, we often have this debate, is it a movement pattern or is it an exercise? It depends who you are. But it's a movement pattern long before it's an exercise. And because it's a movement pattern, we need to know certain things. We're therapists, we need to know, okay, have they got restrictions in mobility? Have they got adequate midline stabilization? Okay, I don't like the term core stability, I prefer stability of the midline. Okay, have they got joint pathology? Have they got a dodgy knee or a dodgy hip? Have they squatted throughout their life? Is the squat pattern brand new to them, or are they just getting into it? Okay, and what is their intention or their goal? For what purpose are they squatting? we shouldn't just be a personal trainer giving out squats. We know they're good, but have we done the movement screen first? Are they able to do that? And then on the other side, we've just got your typical back squat cues from the coach. So if we break the squat down into 3 stages, we've got the eccentric phase, which is the lowering phase, where you've got triple flexion. Then we've got depth, and there's a big debate about depth, okay? You can either go breaking parallel, okay? That's when your hips go below your knees, or you can go what we call arse to grass, okay? Which is your full natural depth, okay? The big debate about how deep you go. How deep you go depends on what you want to do. And then we've got the concentric phase where we're coming up, which is double extension, because really you haven't got true plantar flexion. Triple extension would obviously be jumping. Yeah? Okay, so that's the kinetic chain in all its glories. So what muscles do the squats work? Well, predominantly they're going to work the quadriceps, the glutes, and the adductors. Okay, they're not really going to work the hamstrings hugely. They're not really going to work the calves hugely, but that will depend on what type of squat you're doing. Okay, this is the same research for a half squat as it was a normal squat. So it's going to be a quad and glute and adductor dominant exercise. So if we look at the